Okay, so it's 6:05 and we're just going to move right along because we have so much to cover. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being interested in your health and well-being. And truly, don't let me assume that everyone knows me. My name is Ariola Adeniyi. I'm a corporate wellness coach, and I provide holistic health services and preventive health and wellness, as well as advisory to executives and business leaders. And the truth is, we all can journey to good wealth, but we have to create time to be well and to stay healthy. Our health is our biggest asset. It's one of our greatest assets, and we must pay particular attention to it. And having good health is your personal responsibility. You have to be proactive with it. Health is one thing that we have seen that cannot be outsourced. We can outsource our cleaning, you can outsource our laundry, you can outsource even your payment stack at work. You can outsource a lot of things. But when it comes to your health, you have to be profoundly and very much interested. So today, this is the first series of the wellness webinar. And today we are talking about fighting belly fat. Fighting belly fat. How would you describe the shape of your belly? Some people call it stomach bulge, stomach pouch. Is your belly sitting on your laps? How did it get to that? Some say it's middle-age spread. How did it get to that? When, how, what? What are the dangers of having an abdominal obesity? And that's why today, are you all here with your tape measures? Because what you don't measure, you can't change. What you don't measure, you cannot change. So let's first define what abdominal obesity is. For a woman, when you use your tape rule, and this is one of the easiest areas of the body to work on. You don't need a doctor's report, you don't need scan, you don't need x-rays. Just take your tape measure, which I believe you will do today, so that we can measure the change as we go along. For a woman, if your waist is more than 35 inches, it's abdominal obesity. You need to do something about it fast. For men, it's 40 inches and above. If this is greater than 40, then there's a problem, or there's a challenge, or it portends more issues for you in the future. And why I'm saying we should take measurements today is that so in 21 days, in 30 days, in 60 days, in 62 days, in 90 days, we can measure the change. What you don't measure, you can't change. What you don't measure, you cannot change. Wellness is usually measured on a continuum. That means there is room for improvement. There is always room for improvement. So what are the causes of this belly fat? What are the main causes of belly fat? Or the pot belly, or the bulge? Or, some women have told me they went to the market and the people there were telling them, congratulations. And she's wondering, congratulations for what? The lady said, you are pregnant now, another baby. Very, very embarrassing. Congratulations, she's not pregnant. Some babies have asked their dad, do men also get pregnant? So it's a very visible issue when we have abdominal obesity, and we need to do something about it fast. I remember when we were growing up, the size of a man's belly meant that he was a big man and a rich man. But now we know better. when you have belly fat, you are in the danger of creating cardiovascular disease, diabetes type 2, colon cancer, high blood pressure, or sleep apnea. Some people say it even affects the brain and memory. So it's something that we need to do something about fast. What causes belly fat? Poor diet, too much alcohol, lack of exercise, yes, stress, poor sleep. For some, it's because they smoke. And when a lot of it goes to the diet factor, but the truth is, health and wellness is usually, it's a multidimensional state of being. So it's not just about the belly fat. We're talking about your overall health and well-being. We're talking about your overall health and well-being. And there's been a lot of history to back being able to use holistic services to help you. The goal of everybody should be to have a healthy mind, a sound mind, and a tranquil soul. So how healthy are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Can you write in the chat box how healthy? I'm talking of your overall health now, not even the belly fat yet. How healthy are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 means you're in high level of wellness, optimal health, 100% function. Everything is, you have a fantastic wellness lifestyle. Everything is, that is high level of wellness. That is 10. If it's between 6 and 9, that is good health. And that means you exercise regularly, you support yourself with good nutrition, you are in wellness education constantly, like today's webinar, and then you have minimal doctor's interference. If you are neutral, you're not sick, you're not well, you're just there, neutral, comfort zone. That is, you have no symptoms, quite all right. But your nutrition is inconsistent. Today you are there, tomorrow you don't give the system enough chance to work. Your exercise is not regular, maybe once in 2 months, once in 3 weeks. So health is not a priority to you if you're between 1, if you're at 5. Between 1 and 4, it means you have poor health, you're taking lots of drugs, or you've recently had surgery, or you're losing your normal functions, and it's time to really go and see your doctor rather. Disease means you're at 0, and it could create premature death or unnecessary death, like the diabetes, cardiac arrest, and all of that. So how healthy are you? Health is wealth. And really, we can see that it's all about choices. Every day we do one of 2 things, either produce health in our body or start developing diseases by the lifestyle choices that we make. So it's all about choices. You have the power to take care of your health. You make the decisions and all of that. So how do you lose these extra inches around your waist, the belly fat? Do not let the body of your dreams, somebody just told me they wanted a figure 8. Don't let the body of your dreams be endangered by belly fat. So, and there's been different reasons given to it. Is it age related? Is it gender related? Is it just middle age spread? Is it lifestyle? Is it post-menopausal for women? So there are many different ways that you could get this belly fat. but there's something you can do about it, because all the choices we make affect our body either positively or negatively. And you can make your body to thrive with health by your lifestyle choices. So we already talked about the dangers of belly fat, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, colon cancer, high blood pressure, sleep apnea, short. So we'll look at some of these things. When we go to nutrition, excess sugar consumption is one of the things that we need to avoid, because it affects the abdomen and the liver. Excess sugar consumption. So you have to reduce your sugar. And the liquid sugar is even worse. The liquid sugar is worse. That's the soft drinks, the carbonated drinks, the juices. Do you know, interestingly, fructose is also sugar. So when you take too much of it, you might also run into problems. So everything in moderation. And then today we are talking about our gut health, which is really the core of where this abdominal fat develops. So how do we get rid of this excess fat in the stomach? You need to get rid of snacks in between your meals. You must have your portion size. You must control how much food does a man need. Are you living to eat or eating to live? How much food is your fist size? Each meal should not be more than your fist size. And the best way to make a change is to make a lifestyle change. A lifestyle change is not a fad. Health and wellness is an organic process. So you don't do it for 3 days and say, oh, this thing Arinola talked about is not working. No, you have to go through the process. Give it time to work. There is a 21-day program, the 21-day journey that we're going to use to help people achieve that flat stomach, that figure 8 size, that's to lose this belly fat. We can win the war against belly fat. But the first instance will be a 21-day program. And if you follow the instructions day by day, it's been very simplified. The workbook has been simplified. If you follow it, you will definitely record inch loss. And that's why I've said, okay, we've talked about our overall health. So when it comes to your belly fat, how can you describe where you are at now? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you describe your belly fat? 1 to 10. 1 meaning it's so flat. And even when you buy a size 2 dress in the store, you still need to go and take it in so it can fit you. 10 means it's more than 35 inches for women. It's more than 40 inches for the men. And since we are talking about the gut today, so can you tell me if you have ever experienced acid reflux, constipation? If you have any of those things, just raise your hand in the chat box, or by show of hands. Have you ever experienced constipation, acid reflux, diarrhea? You eat some food and you react to it, allergies to food, you just feel unwell. After you eat a food, you're so bloated. That bloatedness, it's one of the major things. So you have diarrhea constantly, you have IBS, anything you eat doesn't sit well with you. Do you eat late at night? Do you belch? Are you belching all of the time? So if you have any of those things, it will continue to create a lot of issues for you in your belly. So what do? You need to eat a healthy diet when it comes to nutrition. So I've divided this into 7 different things you can do: your nutrition, your hydration, which is drinking a lot of water, your detoxification. In fact, that is where all of this is going to start from. If you do not remove the excess toxins and waste, do you know that the average human being carries 8 to 10 kilos of fecal matter in their gut? 8 to 10 kilos, and it's not doing anything for you there. So that's where the first step to this journey is to detoxify. When you detoxify, your body begins to better absorb the nutrients and vitamins that you're putting into it. Sometimes you're just trying to lose weight and you see it's not shifting, it's not moving. It's because of the excess toxicity in your system. So when you detoxify first, you can either do a colonics, you can do a food detox, you can do a fruit juice diet, you can do intermittent fasting. These are fantastic things that can help you lose weight. So when it comes to diet and lifestyle, what time do you eat your best meals? We all know the saying, eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a peasant or pauper. But it's the other way around. If you live in a big, busy city like I do in Lagos, eating breakfast is not in the morning, it's not even on your mind, because number one, you're going to sign that big contract you've been running after, you're going to do 1 or 2 things, breakfast, but you need to be able to eat breakfast, except you're on that intermittent fasting, so that your metabolism can kick off. But what do? We have that kingly meal at dinner at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., your body doesn't use it. So it just breaks it down. It's not useful to you. It stores up, begins to store up as fat, to store it up as fat. And then you're complaining that the bulge, you can't fit into that shirt that you spent so much buying in the best stores. And then, you know, for us, so some of us in Nigeria, the boo-boo just covers us up. And for the men, when you wear the kaftans, we really can't see the size of that stomach. But when you take off your clothes, you know that, or more, I need to do something about this. So quick tips for gut health: get rid of snacks in between meals. Portion size. What is the portion? I already said it's just your feast. How much food does the man need? But when we go to parties in Nigeria, what do? We stack our plate and they bring all the different delicacies to us. In trying to outdo ourselves. We start with the small chops. That's our own starter. And then when they ask you, do you want jollof rice or fried rice or pounded yam? Or you say, bring a little bit of everything. You take your fada rice, you take the jollof, you put the moi moi, you put the salad, you put everything in one place. And then in the next 30 minutes, another relation has brought the amala pot and they're serving it around. And we are wondering, why is they not serving this side of the table? So you are eating that amala. In another 30 minutes, they say there's Chinese. Chinese has happened. Then the asun comes. Then the dessert, we also, because we've eaten Chinese, they give us dessert, ice cream, name it. Tiwalade can bear me witness to this. She tempts me with her dessert when she's at a party. So I get favorite treatment, So we just go on and on and on all day, all weekend, every weekend. That stomach size will get more than 35. So we need to, even if you go out, you don't need to overburden the stomach in 2 hours. Eating every plate. That's why they've given us as options. You're not supposed to really take everything. So get rid of snacks in between your meals. Make sure it's portion size, feast size every meal that you take. Cut down on bread, refined sugar, and pastas. Stay hydrated. Do you know that water is also a diet? It's a form of diet. You must know when to drink your water, how to drink it, how much quantity, and all of that. And all of those detailed information you can get in the workbook when you subscribe to it. Exercise. I mean, that one just sounds like a broken record. It's like a broken record, but do we have time to do it? In the morning, you're rushing out, you come back at 7 p.m., you have not really had a decent meal all day. All you want to do is to just have your meal, and exercise just goes out of the window. And then you must sleep well. Interestingly, being ability to sleep 7 to 8 hours every day can help bring down that your stomach size. And that's the truth, because the body heals itself when you're sleeping. The body is so intelligent, extremely intelligent, but we are so busy. We are workaholics. We're trying to make a mark, but not sleeping does not make you the best worker on earth. You must create that balance in your life. Sleep is important. And then also minimizing your stress so that your cortisol levels go down, because those are the things that cause, those are the things that cause ill health in us. Yes? So have you written for me how you're going to, what you're going to reduce, what your current waist size on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you, and where do you hope to get it to in the next 21 days? So fill up on fibers, fresh and fermented foods, so that your gut can be stronger, and then lower the amount of processed foods you are eating. And then, really sometimes, and this is a conversation I would expect people to have, ask questions. I'll give time for questions very soon. What are we eating? Too much processed food, foods in the can, foods that are imported. The other day I saw bread at a supermarket brought in from London. And I'm like, wow, we are so cool in Nigeria. And ask me the price. It's worth more than a meal for most homes. So why are we doing all of that to ourselves? There's too much colors in our food. There's too much toxins. Fishes are grown in ponds. Do we still have fresh fish in Nigeria? So sometimes it's the food that we are eating. So we need to decrease our fast food. We need to decrease sugar sweetened sodas. We need to reduce our dairy consumption, because some people just have intolerance to all of that. So lower fiber, when we're not adding enough fiber to our diet, it means that we have less fuel for our gut bacteria. And then we begin to create all sorts of illnesses around us. Then eat more proteins. Proteins are fantastic when you're trying to lose belly fat. And I know some people on this call who are always on protein diet, 30 days, but in between, I said, please, I cannot come and kill myself, baby. But you must give it time to work. Protein is the most important macronutrient for weight loss. So you need to eat a lot of that. And then studies have shown that proteins reduce your cravings by 60%. It will reduce your cravings by 60%. Proteins will boost your metabolism by between 80 to 100 calories per day. So not only can protein help you lose weight, it may also help you avoid regaining weight. So, but I always preach, everything in moderation. Do a lifestyle so that when you look at your plate, you have more of the proteins and all of that. So protein and abdominal fat studies, I've just shared that with you. People who ate and more better protein had much less abdominal fat. So we need to start looking for the good proteins to get on this weight loss thing. It reduces hunger levels. It boosts your metabolism. So let's begin to eat plenty of proteins. And then we have to eat fewer carbs. We need to eat more fruits and vegetables. And then a lot of oil and refined carbs are also what is responsible for abdominal fat. A lot of oils. So I already shared about detox. The human gut is a nauseous reservoir of toxins. So you need to do your detox. So let food be thy medicine, and medicine thy food. That's a common saying we all know. And then we have all experienced at one point in time or the other indigestions, abdominal swelling or bloating, acid reflux, heartburn, constipation, food poisoning, hemorrhoids, peptic ulcer, and a lot of money spent on antibiotics and laxatives just to help with all of these abdominal issues. So that's a food for thought. So we all know that to eat is a necessity, but to eat intelligently is an art. And then sometimes you don't need to wait for a prophecy from your doctor to say that you have chronic illnesses or your cholesterol levels are too high or some other thing before you decide to start losing weight. Yes, so let's eat to support our health. Let's eat to nourish our body. Let's put the right fuel in our bodies. We don't put the wrong fuel in our cars. When you take your car to the filling station, you don't put diesel in a petrol engined car. So don't put the wrong fuel, because food is really fuel for the body. So eat for what you are about to do. Don't eat your biggest meal at the end of the day. Put the right fuel in your body. And then you also don't buy fuel from every filling station. Some people are eating all day long, every hour, every minute, it's just anything that is passing by. You're interested in it. So let's begin to eat only when it is necessary. We've said it will do 3 times a day and no snacks in between. So we have to reduce, but really sometimes it's not your fault. You go for your board meetings, you're at management meetings all day, and what is available are the snacks and all of that. So do we really blame ourselves? But we have to begin to make choices. When you plan your meals ahead of time, you know what you're eating. And then you must have a food log. You must have a food diary. You'll be amazed at the things that pass through your mouth every 24 hours, including the water you drink, everything that you're eating must be accounted for. Everything you're eating must be accounted for. So do you eat? And then another major issue why our stomachs are increasing in size is because we don't celebrate our meal times anymore. People are eating on the go, they're eating in the car, the office table doubles as the dining table. Even when you're eating at home, you're eating in the living room, in the bedroom, you're watching telly, you're exchanging texts, you're laughing at all the jokes that you've come across that day. So do you really connect with your food? What's the color of your food? How many times did you chew? If you do not chew that food well, it will not digest, and you just have a big reservoir of toxins inside of your colon. So let's ensure that we keep a food log diary, keep your portion size in place, detoxify, it's important, reduce the sweeteners, and limit alcohol as well. Limit your alcohol intake. Don't eat on the go, chew your food 20, 30, 40 times before you swallow them. You must enjoy your mealtime. Even you go to a restaurant with your friend, with your family, everybody is on their phone. So why did you go out together? Why? Because we are not connecting with the food. And then also now food is so available everywhere. It's available everywhere, but must we eat like that? I remember in boarding house, we had a timetable. In my house, when we were growing up in Ibadan, we had timetable. So you knew what day you were eating beans, and you knew what day you would not show up early at the dining table. Your rice and chicken was for Sunday. And up until today, I don't like chicken wings because that was my portion. The older ones will first take their own, you know. So up until now, I don't like chicken wings. And more so, maybe because now that is where they inject all the antibiotics, that the chicken are growing, they're grown in 3 weeks. It's not healthy. We really need to look at this food question, because 90 to 95% of all diseases, cancer cases, are now being linked to food and lifestyle. And for me, that's very, it's very disturbing. So we must really begin to have a lot of dialogue about our foods. We need to. And then, you know, there's a lot of sleep deprivation. People are not sleeping. Executives, you wake up on Monday and sleep on Tuesday because you go to bed after midnight. You can't, the body heals when you're sleeping. That's when you begin to get better. So we need to put, and then, you know, interestingly, in 2017, the Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine went to some 3 American researchers. And what did they research on? On our body clock, the circadian rhythm, the 24-hour cycle of a day. And when the economists saw that prize, they said, wow, everyday wellness matters. So everyday wellness matters indeed. And what is everyday wellness? What you eat, your lifestyle, your exercise, your sleep, the time to eat. So the next webinar will probably be on this 24-hour cycle. Are we respecting that cycle? If there's a reason why the sun comes up in the morning and it sets in the evening, and then the moon takes over and the stars. It was designed by that. Most of us are hoping for a 25-hour cycle. It's not about to happen. So let's manage our lives and all that we're doing within this 24-hour cycle. And part of it is respecting when you're supposed to sleep, respect when you're supposed to eat. There's a time that food digests properly. There's a time you're supposed to move your bowel in the morning. When you study the 24-hour cycle, you will begin to respect more and more of what is going on in your body. And you know, some people have healed themselves using just food. I've had clients who were just so ill. And by the time they finished their detox, they started doing healing. So it takes a lot of discipline. I'm not there yet myself. So we're going to be going on this 21-day journey together. So that we can all see, but it's going to take a lot of discipline. It's going to say, you know, I can do this. I can win this war against belly fat. And that's what we're all going to do. So all you need to do is, I think they will soon post on the link, the workbook, Winning the War Against Belly Fat. And there's a discount if you buy it today. It's ordinarily at 10,000 Naira, but today we're going to be giving it to you. Just click on the link. It's 7,500. For the colon hydrotherapy, you would have a discount today. For the food detox, you have a discount. This is just to encourage all of us to achieve our dreams that we need. And then, so what are your 5 things to try? But before we do that, can we just take, can some people who have done colonics at Benevici, would they be kind enough to share their stories with us? Because that is one treatment that I've found. We've done it for 11 years at Benevici. We use a class 2 FDA registered medical device. So it's very safe and it is just water. It is just water, and we've had very, very, very good results. So can you share, can anybody who is willing to share with us their colonics story, just to let people know that it's just water and it's not something that serious? Who is willing to share their colonics experience? Auntie Jola, can you share with us, please? Is she here? Auntie Jola Grace? KWO? Anybody wants to share their colonics experience with us? Do you have any questions there? Are there any questions? Because I'm not. So constipation, I'm just taking a look at all of this. Sorry. Okay, who's that? Okay, please. Invite. I think so. Okay. So let's take. Who's that? Yeah? Sorry? Okay, please. Yes. Thank you, Auntie Roslyn. Please unmute yourself. Have you?
Okay, yes, I'm unmuted. Good evening, Ariella. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes. The colonics is it's a wonderful experience. I've done it twice. The first time I did it, I honestly didn't even know what to expect, but after the first session, my goodness, was as if, when you are carrying the weight load and you let off that load. That was the way I felt. And it's unbelievable what we carry in our body. It's unbelievable. As the water goes in, breaking down all of those things that one has stored, those wastes that one has stored in. And the first thing, the one thing that I found very intriguing about the colonics, when I go, at that point, I don't have the urge to use the restroom. And then the water goes into my body and it's breaking down all of these things, and I see everything coming out, and I'm like, wow. And yet I didn't have the urge, which means all of these things would have remained, So it's a wonderful experience. And you find your weight just drops before your very eyes when you do colonics. You go in with a particular weight. By the time you are coming out, you are coming back with less than 2-3 kg. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And I said to myself, I did it the first time, then I relaxed. After like 3 years, I came back again this year to do it. And I said to myself, twice every year, I must do this to cleanse the system. It's something that we should do, something that it's a habit that we should form, honestly. And that just helps and it keeps us on the right path. Otherwise, everything that we're talking about is right to do this. At the end of the day, yes, we achieve something, but things just still store away there that we need to clear. And just using the restroom does not solve. So colony has been a wonderful experience for me. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so very much. Thank you for sharing your experience. Thank you for sharing your experience. Is Auntie Jola ready for us? Okay. So let's take 1 or 2 more people, because it's just water that we use for the cleanse. And the results they're very profound and immediate. You just see it, you come off the machine and you're like, wow, what am I doing with all of that in my stomach? We've had, okay, she's ready. Please go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi. Well, my experience with colonics was phenomenal. It's like, I remember saying after it that I felt as if I just had a baby. Because, I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of toxin, the amount of, stuff that stay inside your stomach, and you're moving up and down, you are just going about. And sometimes and I actually felt lighter. Immediately I looked at my stomach had gone down. And I knew I needed it. So while I was going through the treatment, my body was actually doing a lot of work to push down all of those things. I felt the water inside me. I felt, I saw everything that was happening. And I just felt like, oh, it's like a brand new me. So I think it's just really, if we really think about it, I said to Auntie Ariola, everybody in this world needs to come and do colonics. Everybody, as in, because we all have this and we don't even know that we are going about carrying these things in our systems. And these are some of the things that bring diseases, illness, fatigue, headaches, and all of that. But when you cleanse yourself, when you detox, if I also did the foot massage, the foot detox rather, is so phenomenal in that there's a chart and then you can tell there's an indication of the color of water that's coming in, you know, what areas of your life you need to pay attention to. So I'm going to, advise everyone who can physically go to Veni Vici and just get your colonics done. It's so important. Thank you. I'm done speaking for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So the truth is, I remember there was one Sunday evening, a senator called me and he told me he was sitting between two surgeons when I got that call. So it was our first client on Monday morning. They had done all the tests in a very reputable, I think somebody else is raising their hand. They had done all the tests in a very reputable hospital and lab. And we put him on a 6-day cleanse because, I mean, at that point, he said somebody walked in and said, look, I did something very funny at the spa. It was water, but at that point, he was ready to try anything his doctors in mind. So he came in, and on the 5th day, he was able to go to work for the first time in 1 month. In fact, I was invited to the service and Thanksgiving party he had in his house. Inside of that, Aleki, he said, Madam, I thought it was cancer. I was feeling so bad. I didn't know what to do. 2 weeks ago, a lady was visiting from London as well, a young lady. She said she came for someone's wedding, but she had been to the hospital just before she came. And she said they did an x-ray because she's had all sorts of abdominal pains and issues. So she had done all of that, and they did an x-ray just before and they told her that her colon was filled with poo. That was what the x-ray was showing her. And you know, she had time for only 3 sessions. She was just beaming and beaming. So I'm like, okay, so what are you going to tell your doctor in London? I said, don't worry about doctor. I now know the solution to my problem. And from that very first session, she never experienced any pain till she left Nigeria in 2 weeks. She was so happy and satisfied with her treatment. So it's just water that we're using. Please, can you get Lotta to come in? Lotta. So it's very effective. It's just water, amount of herbal tea or whatever can help us do this. Please go on, Auntie Lotta.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Irene. It's nice to be here. Yes, I did the colonics, and I won't bother to repeat what everybody else has said. All I can say is that I noticed the difference in my skin. I have urticaria. That means extreme sensitivity. I react to my face masks, and I still have to wear them. I react to non-natural fibers. So that means I can't really wear anything other than cotton, silk, wool. All other items irritate me extremely. But I realized that after the colonics, my irritation greatly reduced. My skin cleared up, and I realized that I could sleep a lot better. In fact, I started craving sleep in the night. I'm still, struggling with the duration of the sleep, but I do feel sleepy now, And then I've had a long-standing issue with not being able to go to use the loo. I've been constipated, over the years, and it's something I constantly battle. But after the colonics, I realized that I haven't had bloody stools. I've been going, and irrespective of whatever it was I ate, which means that whatever the gunk was in my stomach was contributing to the state of my of my physis, and making it, come out hard and, affect me the way it was. So it's something I really would recommend, and I intend to do another one I think, you recommended in 3 or 6 months' time for the second session.
Yes, but since your situation is getting better, we'll review it again and see.
Okay.
When next you. Thank you for sharing.
Awesome. I'm yet to do the food detox, though. I think I'll book to come and have that done. I wasn't told about it. I didn't know.
Okay. All right.
All right.
We'll take one more. Somebody's trying to, yes. Thank you so much for sharing.
All right.
Insomnia. Colonics can help you with insomnia. Yes. Please go ahead, Adewumi.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. You can see my name is Wumi. I'm the first timer here, but you've been talking about colonics, but I wanted you to, I would have preferred that you break it down and tell us what it is all about. But somehow or other, a kind of tea. So I think for those of us who had not been here before, like myself, I would just say that you break it down a little bit and let's know what it entails if we are going to start from the colonics before we get to this next stage. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you very much for your opinion. Truth is, if we are going to talk about colonics, we need another 1 hour. We have only 7 minutes to round up this call because I know everybody is busy. So colon hydrotherapy, in short, is just it's a form of detoxification that is very, very effective. And like I said, the average human being carries 8 to 10 kilos of fecal matter around, and it's not doing anything for you. And that's where all the gunk and junk now goes. And when it becomes overloaded, you begin to have, it can cause colon cancer. It begins to seep back into your blood cells, and it's the precursor for a lot of other illnesses. An acidic environment, in fact, diseases and sicknesses can only happen, and cancers can only happen in an acidic environment. When there's too much toxins in your colon, that is acidic. But when you're able to infuse and add water through the colon hydrotherapy, then your system becomes more alkaline. And then you now reduce the risk of other illnesses. And who is eligible for a colonics? If you have, it tells people even with high blood pressure, if you have headaches, constant headaches, you're constipated, you have diarrhea, you don't go regularly, because health begins in the colon. Some people do it and the back pain they've had for years just disappears because it's just water we're using for the cleanse. We're not adding any other thing. So you can come in for a consultation. You don't have to do it, so that we can go through it some more. Colon cancer is now the second largest killer all over the world. So if we stay on the preventive side and remove the toxins in our bodies, because what happens, the toxins just weigh us down and we don't have energy to do all the other work that we're supposed to do. So it's just a proactive step in ensuring that you're well and you keep your system alkaline. Just like when we eat too, we avoid a lot of the acidic foods, the processed foods and all of that. And we stay with the alkaline foods, fresh fruits, vegetables, and all of that. So colonics is just a major form of detoxification that is very profound and helps us prevent colon cancer and other forms of diseases. But I'll be happy to have a chat with you after this to explain more about it. So, and for people who are on this call, you would enjoy, like I said, discounts on the colon hydrotherapy session. If you book for 3 sessions, you're paying 85,000 Naira as opposed to 33,000 per session. And then, like the food detox as well, you enjoy almost 20% discount on the food detox. Then there's a workbook, a 21-day journey that we would be going through to ensure that we stay well. That workbook is going for 7,500 Naira today. A step-by-step, holding your hands journey into how to ensure you have a good lifestyle. I always call it my 5 to thrive. Your nutrition, your sleep, your hydration, how much water you're drinking, when you're drinking it, what type of water, your exercise, 10,000 steps per day. You know, I love a famous quotation that says, I have 2 doctors, my left leg and my right leg. So every morning I wake up, I get up and I go for a walk. It keeps the doctors away. We also know that for exercise, 10,000 steps a day. And most people are wearing step counters and their Fitbit around. So you can actually monitor what you're doing. We have to stop the sedentary lifestyles. Traffic in Lagos is too much. Some people are in traffic for 2-3 hours a day. So we need to live an active lifestyle, reduce the sedentary lifestyle that we found ourselves, and get up sometimes just to change your television instead of just remote controlling everything. So benefits of colonics include being able to lose weight, And when you remove up so much around your belly, you would have achieved this. So, yeah. So the link is on the bio. The link is on the chat. The link, the Paystack 21 days flat belly workbook. It's very effective. It's a surefire habit tracker, because sometimes what happens is that we're not tracking our habits and we don't get results. Okay, you will get the downloaded email soon. Yes, okay, Auntie Tola, I'm just reading your message. Yes, you'll get you will be able to download very soon. Okay. So if you buy it in the next 24 hours, you get it for 7.5. After that, we don't have an outlet in Abuja yet. We don't have an outlet in Abuja yet. So, but you can buy the workbook anywhere you are in the world and make sure you win that war against. So, yes. So everyday wellness matters, like I'm saying in the chat here. So any other questions? If not, we're rounding this up now. Thank you so much for coming out today. Thank you. This is something we'll be doing every quarter. The next one, like I said, might be around the 24-hour cycle, because we are very busy and all the things we're doing are very valid. Everybody's busy. They're all hot button issues. And then we forget ourselves in the process. Any more questions, comments? So we'll be rounding this up. I'm so glad you made it to the end. And so, is she saying something? Sorry. Who?
Sorry.
Okay, yes, please. Okay.
Good evening, Ma.
Good evening.
I would like to ask, you said if we book for 3 sessions, there's a discount.
Yes.
At what intervals are we meant to come for that 3 sessions?
Okay, we'll now do a consultation, find out your lifestyle, see when you can do it and all of that.
Okay, the minimum session is 3, right?
To back is better so you can see your results. Sorry? Because
okay.
What also happens with the colonics, you just lose the appetite for the wrong things. It curbs your appetite. Your colon is stoned. Your food portions reduce. Because I now realize that the toxins just eat. You eat In another 90 minutes, you're hungry again, you're eating again. So it's the colon, is the toxins we were feeding. When you do your colonics, it just resets your mind, your stomach, and you lose the cravings for the wrong things. You begin to eat right, eat well, and make the right choices that would ensure that you stay healthy, live long, and have a very fulfilling life. But what's the point of growing up and then you're battling arthritis, back pain, migraine every day? We don't need all of that. So health begins in the colon. And when you get your colon right, like an efficient colon is one that goes to the bathroom after every meal. But what do we have? Okay, so even if you do once a day, it's not bad. But some people don't go 7 days, 5 days. So we need to help ourselves. It's a preventive measure.
And the food detox. Can you do it simultaneously?
Yes, you can do the colonics back to back, but you can't do the food detox. You have to leave a day in between. But you can do the two in one day.
Okay, thank you very much.
And there's also a link there showing you the discount on the colonics and food detox. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for showing up. I wish you optimum health and well-being. And if you have any questions, please do not fail to get in touch with me. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you so much.